In today's video, I'll show you how to rock paint these cute turtle designs. They are all beginner friendly, and all you need is some green, black, and yellow paint, some brushes, and some mini rocks. Let's get started with the first design. When it comes to painting anything, I always look at what I'm painting and I just break everything down into shapes because I know I can draw a circle, I know I can draw an oval, I know I can draw a triangle, but I sometimes can feel overwhelmed with the bigger picture. So for here, I just started with a circle, maybe more of an oval, but a circle in the center for that turtle shell. And then I added a half circle up top for the head, and then I'm just doing some oval type shapes for the little legs. And I'm just going to paint all those on. I decided to do two different colors for the turtle itself. And don't forget that tail, it's just a triangle. At this point, I'm going to outline my design. You can skip this step if you want to. I like to outline my designs just because I think it adds a little bit more dimension and detail to my patterns. But if you're just starting out with rock painting, or maybe you have a little bit of a shaky hand and you want to skip outlining the turtle, it will look so cute anyways. I decided to add a couple, well, two eyes for the turtle. You can add a smile too if you wanted to, but I didn't really have space for it, so I just kept it simple and added some eyes. Then I'm just adding some black lines to kind of create that shell pattern for the turtle. And you can do this in any color that you want to. And there is the first design. For the second design, I'm kind of changing the angles of the turtle a little bit. This turtle is going to be more of a side view. So I'm starting with the base of the shell, and then I'm adding the curved part of the shell. And if I stop painting right here, I think it would make a perfect little leprechaun hat. But I'm not making a leprechaun hat today, so we'll keep going with the painting. Next, I'm going to add his little head there, and then I'm going to add the legs. And again, with the shapes, these are just kind of lines, little stumpy lines for those legs. Add the triangle, tail, and I'm just going to shape out the head a little bit more so I like the shape of the head a little bit better. I'll let it dry, and then I'm going to outline just the details of the turtle. One trick that I do to buy fine tipped brushes on a budget is I just buy eyeliner brushes. I buy like 100 pack of them off Amazon, and then I am able to get super fine details. I just use these tiny little brushes. They're way more affordable than buying just a brush at a craft store. I think I pay about $7, maybe $7 to $10 for like 100 of these little brushes, and I could buy a single brush for around that price at the craft store. So there's a little tip for you if you're wanting to paint some fine details on a budget. I'm just going to add those little details on his shell, and he turned out so cute. The third design that I'm going to show you is definitely the most lifelike turtle that I have in this little painting tutorial. So for this one, you're going to want to get a more rounded shaped pebble and paint the top part of it whatever color shell you want. After I let it dry, I just flipped it over and I'm painting the underside of the turtle a different color, just a lighter green in this case. I'll let that dry, and then comes the fun part, adding all of the little details to make this turtle come to life. So I'm starting with the head, and I am just going to make an oval outline, and then I will add on the eyes and then the mouth. And again, I'm just using my super fine tipped brush, and that really helps me get the details that I want to get. Then I'm just going to outline the turtle shell basically, so the top part from the bottom part. I even added that little up angle at the back to make his little tail. Once it's all outlined, I am going to add on the legs and just paint those on all the way around. And at this point, you can definitely tell that it looks like a turtle, but it's going to, as we add more details, it'll look more and more lifelike as we go, which is really fun to see a creation come together. I wanted to create kind of a patterned belly, and so I just am taking my brush and just kind of creating lines, what I kind of would imagine the bottom of the turtle looking like, and just adding those lines all the way around just to add a little bit of texture and kind of a patterned underbelly for the little turtle. At this point, you could get pretty creative with it. You could just make the pattern like this, or maybe you could create more of a detailed pattern if you wanted to break it down into different shapes. You have a lot of room for creativity at this point, which is always really fun to make changes as an artist and kind of make it your own. Once I'm finished with the pattern, I'm going to let it dry, and then I will work on the top. For the top, I wanted to create more of a patterned top, I guess, so that it looked more like turtle, like almost like those like plates that are on a turtle. I'm not an expert on turtles, so it's just the shapes that I'm looking at that I'm just trying to replicate. And these are not perfect shapes. They are just kind of what I pieced together for the turtle for his little shell. I'll keep adding those shapes all the way around the turtle until I'm happy with the way they turned out. And then I will set it aside and let it dry for just a couple minutes. It's pretty thin layers of paint, so you won't have to wait too long to let it dry before you can move on to the next part. To finish off the turtle, I'm just adding a little splash of color. In this case, I just used some yellow, and I'm just dabbing it on with the paintbrush. And every once in a while, I would dip my paintbrush into some water just to like help thin the paint down a little bit and to spread it all out. And I just go all the way around the shell until I like the color of all of it. And here is how he turned out. I think it's always fun to use the shape of the rock to make something, and this little rock was the perfect shape for a perfect little turtle. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, go ahead and subscribe to my channel or like and comment on the video. Thanks for watching.